If you visited the island of Key West, Florida in the late 70s, you may have seen locals wearing shirts with the text, "Where is Bum Farto?" Given that this sounds like the setup to a pull my finger style trick, I doubt many tourists asked what this meant, which is a shame, because Bum Farto was a real person, with a life story that was as interesting as his name was unfortunate. Born Joseph Farto to Spanish immigrants in Key West, Florida in 1919, Farto spent much of his childhood hanging around the fire station across the street from his home. The kind-hearted firefighters took a liking to young Farto, who would fetch them coffee and shine their shoes. But his presence was not without the annoyance typical of children, as he would often ask for things in exchange for these favours, earning him the nickname of the Little Bum. The firefighters surely had no idea of the butterfly effect their actions would have on history. Not only was Farto known as Bum for the rest of his life, but he would grow up to become the fire chief in 1964. Fire Chief Farto then became somewhat of a local legend, thanks to his eccentric style and behaviour. He was often dressed in eye-catching suits, with rose-tinted sunglasses and gaudy gold jewellery, which included a gold fire axe pin attached to his shirt. He drove a flashy Ford Galaxy 500 with a lime green paint job, adorned with the words El Jefe, Spanish for the chief or the boss, and he was frequently seen smoking large cigars. His ostentatious behaviour was noted at local baseball games, where he was seen performing strange rituals from his car for good luck. It's thought Farto was an adherent of the Santeria religion, but through misunderstanding and rumour, it was commonly believed he was practising witchcraft. He was involved in some other incidents that raised a few eyebrows as well. Like in 1971, when he was charged with failing to yield to an emergency vehicle after crashing into a motorcycle patrolman. That same month, he was responding to a fire call when he fell into an irrigation canal. Bum Farto could not swim. He had to be rescued by fellow emergency responders. These are some pretty damning incidents to be attributed to the fire chief, but it gets worse. A city commission investigated Fire Chief Farto for numerous allegations of misappropriation of city funds, including forging signatures to cash checks. The commission recommended Farto be removed from his role as fire chief, but a civil service board overturned this action, saving Farto's job. This was regarded as somewhat suspect, as one of the members of this board was Farto's nephew. This incident served to shed light on some unanswered questions about Bum Farto, like how was a fire chief able to afford what appeared to be a fairly lavish lifestyle? Did his job really pay him that well, or was it him paying himself that well? Conclusive proof that Bum Farto was not on the level was revealed in 1976 in amusing fashion. You see, it turned out Bum Farto had been dealing drugs, sometimes just outside the fire station, as part of a sting operation that targeted numerous politically connected individuals in Key West. Farto was arrested after selling drugs to an undercover agent and being photographed in the act. I say selling, but supposedly the agent was offering him a gold ring rather than money. It took just 30 minutes for a jury to convict Farto. He was found guilty of 1 count of selling marijuana and 2 counts of selling cocaine. He was looking at anywhere between 15 to 31 years in prison, but he would never see the inside of a cell. While awaiting sentencing, Farto posted $25,000 bail and told his wife he had some business to attend to in Miami, before setting off in a rental car, the police having confiscated his lime green Galaxy. They had been married for 21 years, but this would be the last time she would ever see him. Bum Farto's rental car was found abandoned in Miami, and that's pretty much the end of the story. No one knows what happened to him after that. He just disappeared. Some speculate he fled to South America, or maybe his criminal exploits caught up with him and he was murdered. He was declared legally dead in 1986, so his wife could collect his pension and life insurance, and according to her, she has no idea what happened to him. Bum Farto was gone. Gone like the wind, one might say. His arrest and disappearance cemented the local eccentric into legendary status in Key West, where t-shirts referencing Bum Farto became very popular. Where is Bum Farto? Bums away. Jimmy Buffett even mentions him in his song Landfall. William Shakespeare once wrote, "A rose by any other name would smell as sweet." But clearly a name like Bum Farto was always going to be destined for greatness. There was no chance Bum Farto could have just spent his life working in an office before dying in obscurity. The world had to know Bum Farto lived. And what a life it was. So if you're out there with a name like Bum Farto, you know, like Ass Blaster or something, and you're just being worked to death in an Amazon warehouse, this is your sign to seize the unique opportunity your name affords you and live the sort of life that people like me will chronicle for years to come. If you're a no-name loser and just enjoy the chronicles of greater men, then fear not, I've done a lot of chronicling, although not all the people in these videos could be described as great. Some are pretty terrible. If you'd like to keep up to date with my videos as I release them, hit the subscribe button, and you can join the channel membership to support me monetarily. Until next time, stay safe. If you visited the island of Key West, Florida in the late 70s, you may have seen locals wearing shirts with the text, "Where is Bum Farto?" Born Joseph Farto to Spanish immigrants in Key West, Florida in 1919, Farto spent much of his childhood hanging around the fire station across the street. Born Joseph Farto to Spanish immigrants in Key West, Florida in 1919, Farto spent much of his childhood hanging... Born Joseph Farto to Spanish immigrants in Key West, Florida... Fuck, this is going to be impossible. Bum Farto could not swim. Bum Farto could not swim. You see, it turned out Bum Farto had been dealing drugs. You see, it turned out Bum Farto had been dealing drugs. Sometimes just...